This week's US CQM forecast alert is effect of April imports on CQM and PCA forecast. The income side of the US economy is strong, with personal income continuing to grow at a high rate of 0.8% in April. Imports of goods fell by 19.85% in April, affecting the economic growth rate on the expenditure side. However, actual import figures for May are essential in order to know the exact economic growth rate on the expenditure side. As a result, the economic growth rates have been revised upwards by about 4% and about 1.5% on the expenditure and income side, respectively. The average growth rate on both sides, which is a better measure of economic growth rate, is now 3.44%. All inflation indicators are growing at less than 2%, so there are no inflation concerns. The ratio of real export to import is used to construct the principal component for estimating real GDP in PCA. This ratio has been revised upward to 0.76 from 0.62 last week, which will have a positive impact on the real GDP forecast. Real business inventories were revised downward due to the update of April inventories for wholesalers and retailers. As a result, the positive impact of the higher real export-import ratio on real GDP was partially offset. The PCA forecast has revised the economic growth rate upward from 2.26% to 2.40%, which is closer to the CQM's expenditure side economic growth rate. The GDP price deflator is forecasted to grow at 2.13%, slightly higher than the CQM's 1.87%. The PCA forecast also shows no signs of the stagflation the Fed is concerned about. The PCA uses 8 of the 11 principal components that are statistically significant. Conclusion from this week's US CQM forecast alert. The first, actual figures for May's goods import are essential for more accurate forecast of economic growth rate on the expenditure side. The second, the income side of the US economy is strong this quarter. The third, based on the CQM forecast, inflation remains stable at below 2.0%. The fourth, the PCA forecast, which is not directly affected by goods import, predicts economic growth rate for 2025 Q2 to be 2.40% and inflation rate to be 2.1%. The fifth, the Fed fear of stagflation is unlikely. This slide contains additional information about this week's detailed CQM forecast.